All right. News.
News noise. Still don't play Marvel's Avengers. It'll dox you.
All right. So yeah, that's that. That's docket piece. Then it's quite simple. Marvel's Avengers got updated, and it patched in some kind of bug, which shows your fucking IP address on screen, and that's a bad. And if you take a look,
it's bad. It's bad.
It's got your username and then your IP address, and the screenshot I saw was actually like censoring something else as well. So there's two pieces of sensitive data.
It was censoring a string of letters that the guy who put up the screenshot couldn't understand, so he didn't want to take any chances.
Yeah, that's good. Smart. Yeah. Who knows? Don't do that. So, boo, Crystal D with the Avengers on that one. That's not good.
If you were let's role play a situation. Let's assume you were back working in QA. Right? Let's just role play it, okay?
Sprinting down the hallway.
I want to start it. Come on. As you're at your desk, you're doing your shit. You're in compliance, right? You're still doing compliance, right? Okay. Hey, Wally.
What's up?
There's a bug. The game shows everybody's IP address on the screen. You can't turn it off.
Say that again?
You can't turn it off. It shows the username, the IP address, the date, the time, and some other identifying information for their console. It's passed around the screen like a DVD menu. You can't turn it off. It's everywhere.
Can you reproduce it?
Yeah, it's everybody.
Cool. Head home for the day. You're done. Good job. Write it up. Take the rest of the day off. Enjoy. Running down the hallway to get to the phone to tell the people that this needs to be pushed through immediately. Holy shit, it's on fire. But you're also, as you're running down the hallway, you're taking high fives for finding the sickest fucking failure, and you did a good job. Good catch. Although, let's be real, you didn't catch it. Everyone did.
Everyone did. It showed up on everyone's thing.
Yes.
Would you? Because I feel this way, but would you classify their decision to not take the servers down until the hotfix went up as not prudent or immoral? Because they didn't tell anyone. They actually said there's a bug fix coming out for the strange floating text.
I mean, so here's the thing. There's an argument to be made there, and what I would say is the way it ought to go, and probably does go, is you inform Sony immediately.
Yeah.
And they make the call on how that plays out.
Okay.
I have told the story of the time I found a PSP bug that basically resulted in corrupting a save of a really shitty American dating sim. Would result in, first, the save turning into a save for the wrong game. It would just turn into a save for a different game. Or at the very least, identify itself as a save for the wrong game.
Okay.
And then it would kill your firmware. And the process of reproducing the bug meant we had to go and do a fucking, kit reinstallation and resetup thing, because it literally would nuke your console. And then it's like, okay, this is literally miracle class. This is beyond CBAS. Like, you can't, like, this is
class action lawsuit bug.
Consumer product destroyed. Like, it's beyond, and yeah, like that was admittedly, this was not in a retail build. This was in a testing build. certainly.
It's not
But
shipping like this.
yeah, but like if in a real world scenario where something that nightmarish were to occur, you get the fucking hardware manufacturer on the line and tell them about this insane liability that they're about to encounter, and then they decide how to proceed. You know,
I don't know what it's called, but there's a couple games that have had this bug, and it's just lit every time. It's most famously by Bungie's Myth, which is, hey, can you uninstall the game off your PC? And it goes, great, format the drive. Wait, I installed it on C. Don't worry, we're gonna format that too. Oh Christ. Why would you have designed it this way?
Yeah. Yeah. Messy installations are so fucking annoying, man. And because there's no consistency between, like, there wasn't any PC compliance for years. It was just up to however they wanted to handle it. How do you want to handle extracting packages? How do you want to handle, writing to the registry? How do you want to handle every aspect of this? Are you going to put the saves in a documents folder that'll then be cloud saved, or are they all going to be in program files? What do we do? Like, it was such a mess. It was the Wild West back in the day, you know?
So I'm just thinking, because I just looked it up. Steam came out in 2003, which is the year I graduated from high school. And also the same year I started to attend college. And I believe I met you as well. There are people within the sound of our voice listening to this podcast who I'm going to assume are 16 years old, right? So the experience of PC gaming for them, if they do play on PC, is 100% past the invention of Steam, which means they don't know how bad it was. And, like, you know what? Let's expand that to 20-year-olds, because 3-year-olds weren't installing high-end PC games, right? It was astonishingly bad.
Yeah.
It was, get the game, install it. It installs, go to run, you get a nonsensical error. And it goes, fix this. And I go, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And it goes, fix it, though.
Yeah, IO error. Just, that's all it says. Press OK. You don't know true suffering, children, until you're asked to install disk 18 of 25 for Alone in the Dark on floppy, and disk 18 is missing. Big old box full of floppy disks.
You know my favorite one? In 1996, I was playing Eye of the Beholder 2 on my personal computer. And I was having a good time. And it got to the second level of the dungeon, as it often does. It asked me for a specific word on a specific page of the manual.
Oh, yeah.
But the manual was at my dad's ex-wife's house because my brother had taken the manual with him because he was playing it on his PC at his mom's house. And I called to ask him what it was, and they had gone out for the evening. So that was the end of that shit for me that day.
See, for some folks, Metal Gear Solid 1, Kojima's codec lockout system, where you had to look at the back of the box to get the codec code to proceed in the game, was the first encounter with that. But
wow, that aged like shit, by the way.
Oh, yeah. In a world of digital.
The digital version of MGS1, like, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, you can look it up, but like when he says back of the CD case, it's not even actually clear what he means because you have gotten a CD in the game earlier.
Yeah. That was, even that stupid thing was not the beginning of that. That is like, this has been a bit for a while on old ass PC games where they just, that was the means of copy protection. You know?
There was a TSR game that I had. I can't remember the specific one. I want to say it was Menzo Baran or whatever that is. It came with a goddamn code wheel.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, God damn it.
Don't copy that floppy.
I bought it.
Don't copy that floppy. What are you doing?
And then you know what the solution was? Photocopy the manual.
Sure. Yeah.
Just
that'll
photocopy
do it. That'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never just pour one out. I will always fucking remember Oz games back in the day when I was growing up in Chamonix in Laval. The Super French. They had
oh man, I've never heard that term, but you're super right. Man. The Super French.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
And we had Super Video Choix, which was like for your games, and if you're lucky, they had like a Mortal Kombat 1 arcade cabinet for the first time in your life.
That's crazy.
You're pulling the Velcro buttons off of things like, does that say Street Fighter 2010? What?
It does. It does say that.
And you're holding the button, and then you're like, wait, let me look at and you look at the back, and you go, you motherfuckers, you almost got me. And then you leave, and then you go to the mall next door where they've got Oz. And in Oz, they let you rent PC games out. And it was just like, do you guys... Do you know? And they're like, oh, yeah, we know. Everyone rents it once.
I feel like that happened for like 8 months. I feel like that was the shortest like thing I've ever seen, because I remember seeing PC games for rent, and then I remember the feeling of where'd the PC games for rent go? They were just here.
So this place kept it going for years.
Oh my God, are you serious?
For years. This was the same place where I went and I played the 3DO, and I fucking got my thumb blistered playing Way of the Warrior, right? All that shit, this one fucking joint that just, they had everything and they threw it up on the wall, and they like, when I was like well into high school, and we would like, out of curiosity, be like, oh shit, you want to go swing back by the old mall? And they absolutely had shit on the wall still, like renting out, like no fucks given at all. And I think like it was weird because there was a couple places where I think the way that like places like that, and there's another mom and pop shop in Verdun that was around for a while. The way they kind of got away with things was weird because like they'd rent, but like they also sold. So anything on the shelf was also for sale technically, but you could just rent it if you wanted. You know? Excuse me. It was a strange thing, and I didn't quite understand, you know, how this all was set up, but it seems as if someone were to walk in and be like, "Hey, what is going on here?" They're like, "Well, we sell video games, sir." What are those Velcro rippables about? Those are for the purchasing of the game.
I remember I would ride, I used to live in a small town on the outskirts of the Montreal, and I would ride my bike to the Microplay to rent 5 games on a Saturday morning, and then I would come back 5 hours later before they close and return all of them and rent 5 more.
Pre-Videotron Microplay, that is.
This is pre-video. This is back when it was
their own chain.
This was 2000. No, this was 99, and these were PS1 games. And I would rent every new release on the Saturday morning, and I would go home and I would speed run them in my PC burner and then return and give them all back. And the guy would just stare at me and go, "You returning all these?" Go, "Yeah, they're great." And he would just stare at me and go, "Okay." I remember I remember the look on his fucking face so clearly, just like completely emotionless, like, mm-hmm.
So, anyone who ran a video store, like, has dealt with VHS tapes fucking coming back in that exact manner.
Oh yeah,
immediately. You know,
it's a 2-hour, 20-minute movie. Why are you here 2 hours and 30 minutes later?
Basically. You clearly didn't rewind it, you asshole.
What a jerk.
Yeah. That was a time. That was a time. And
what, are you gonna bust
then,
a fucking 13-year-old kid for having a piracy ring? Go to hell.
When that time ended, some places refused to let the end come, so they just fought against it for the longest while. And it worked. Anyway,
I remember that guy giving me the dirtiest look post Videotron. Post Videotron microplay. It was still the same guy. He still owned his microplay. It was just inside of Videotron now. And it was the first time I had seen him in many years. And it was the weekend after you and I went to that office in the Point.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, hey, you used to come around a lot." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I rented like 10 PS2 games, including Yakuza 1, which was the first time I ever played Yakuza 1. And then I brought them back the next day, and he just stared at me. He was like, "Uh-huh. Man, Yakuza 1's a good game. Y'all should play it." No, you shouldn't. Yakuza 1's terrible. But the series is good. It was better at the time.
I have a lot of very good and what?
I just saw the funniest thing. Somebody said, "I only found out that PS1 game discs were supposed to be black as an adult."
That's pretty funny.
That's really funny.
Wow.
Did you know that PS2 CDs are supposed to be blue?
Mm-hmm. And Dreamcast discs are burned from the outside in.
That's crazy.
They're GD-ROMs.
Wow.
So I have had lots of important first-time seeing shit memories associated with Microplay, and for that, I am thankful. But I also am super fucking just forever salted on the bullshit that has happened to there on many occasions. Microplay was the place that I handed over my copy of Star Fox and got a toonie and a loony.
Oh,
that was where it happened, and where I stared at it and just like felt the soul leave my body. You know, I had that moment. That was where I entered the No Mercy contest, where it was a cage match, hardest difficulty versus Kane, I think, and you had to get out in the fastest time, and I fucking crushed it, because for the longest while everyone was operating with the idea of like, at first it was like a minute 35, then someone got it down to like a minute 31, and then my friend got it down to a minute 29, and then I came in and I got it done in like 59 seconds, and the dude
crushed it,
and the dude fucking came over and went, "You cheated, it doesn't count," and straight up did not enter my score on the board. And I'm like, it's not my fucking fault you didn't come over here and see it. What cheat could I have done? What was there? What was it? What did I do? And then and he's like, nope, doesn't count. And then I wasn't able to get that time again, but that was the best fucking time, and he never fucking took it. You know, same place, same store where that happened. Fucking piece of shit.
I've got a microplay pain story. So in the second week of August 1997, and it is weird that I remember this so specifically, but I was excited to rent a new game because school was coming back. School would be back in a week or two. And I had played and replayed FF7 a bunch of times because it had come out that year, and I got it on my birthday on April 22nd. And I beat it June 10th around because it was the day I finished elementary school. I beat FF7 that night. It was sick. I was super stoked. It was a good start to a summer. And I was looking around, and there was a new game on the shelf, and I picked it up. And the guy was like, "Hey, you like the microplay guy I've been describing? Hey, do you like FF7?" I'm like, "Yeah, FF7's great. I played it a lot." It's like, this is by the same people about FF7. It's even better. It's like the new Final Fantasy. They just didn't call it that, but it's basically Final Fantasy VIII. It's super good. And so I rented the last game I could for the summer, and I took Saga Frontier home. And let me tell you, it is not just as good as FF7. It is not. It is a bad game. And I don't like it. That game fucking sucks.
That's the story? Saga Frontier bad?
Have you ever played Saga Frontier?
I have not. It has a cool logo.
It's real bad.
Okay. Well,
you stole $3.25 from Child Pat and ruined the last rental weekend of my summer of '97.
That's not what I would consider stealing money. That's not that's you know what I would consider an attempt.
I actually consider it larceny by false promise.
Oh, okay.
He obtained funds through dishonesty.
What about when you see a bad movie and walk out of it?
Theft.
Okay, got it. Just
burglary.
Mm-hmm. Well, how about this? How about you decide to check out that hot new immersive title, Shenmue, which of course you rent, but you don't just rent. You rent all 4 discs.
Yeah.
And take it home, play it, don't get anywhere near the end of disc 1, is what it is. So come back, you know, whatever, the day or two. I think it was literally the next day, whatever. It was a very short period of time. Come back, hand it back. Dude goes, "Yeah, disc 2's not working." And I'm like, "I only played disc 1. I literally did not touch disc 2. Who was the last person before this? Because that doesn't..." And he's like, "Yeah, well, I don't know. We're having an issue with it. Doesn't work. So that's your damages. That's your problem. Fuck you. You know, I got to pay the damages on that." And I'm like, "I literally did not touch the disc. I only played disc 1. I can show you my save file. There was no, like, it doesn't, you know." And it's like, "Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. That's damages. You got to fucking..." And I'm like, fuck off, right? And it's like, "Yeah, well, you know." So I left, and then I spoke to my friend about it, and then I remember I spoke to my friend about it, and I remember, like, I don't know if it was like right away or what, but he basically was like, "You know what?" He's like, "Okay," he basically was like, "Disc 2 is replaceable. You know, we can figure something out." So then it was like, "Okay, go back to the store and like, hey, so you want me to pay for the damages? Yeah, okay. How about this? I'll pay for the damages, and you give me discs 1, 3, and 4, and then I'll just take those. And the damaged ones, it's damaged, whatever, it's no good. Give me the rest of this thing, and then we're good." right? Because it's damaged. What's the problem now? And dude's like, no, that's not really how we do things here. That's not, you know. And I'm like, but it's this, if you're telling me that you just wanted to take money from me for being damaged, why can't I get the rest of this product? You know, I'll be fine with those.
Yeah, I'll just buy the whole thing off you. You break it, you buy it, right?
Done and done. Let me get the rest of it. Exactly. And dude goes, all right, look, tell you what, give me $25, we'll call it even. And it's like, oh, you're just a piece of shit. You just want to take some kids' money. Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. And that's the fucking thing. That's the microplay.
And then you burn that store down.
I didn't have to, because not long after fucking leaving that piece of shit, they then, you know, folded and merged into Videotron. And you know, that asshole and his fucking like it's that anyway, whatever. It's like so many great memories of like seeing Devil May Cry for the first time, playing a bunch of crazy new releases for the half-an-hour thing and whatnot. But like, that's one of those ones where it's like, okay, this is how you operate. And thankfully, right around that time, just up the street, the card comic shop was pulling out some consoles and getting into the game as well, because they were like, yo, we can get a couple systems up here, and if kids are going to come play. So the alternative was provided, and the arcade was across the street. Fuck microplay, you know?
You know what my two favorite buying a thing and it's bullshit emotions are ever, and because they're the same story, just different items at different stores. One was picking up Castlevania Portrait of Ruin day of release, like at like 10 in the morning, because I had classes that day, I think. So I hopped over by the EB and I was like, fuck, it's sick. Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, this is gonna rule. And then I fucking I was sitting down to the wait for the metro, and then I popped the cartridge into my fucking thing. I was like, yeah, sick. And there was a fucking clear save on it.
On the new game.
On the new game that was wrapped. It was plastic wrapped.
Yeah.
And I brought it back, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, that's your save file. I'm like, bullshit, it is. That says 100% or whatever the fuck the equivalent was. Give me a new one. It's like, why? Because you guys played this in the back. It's like, it must have come like that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They ended up giving me a new one. Trust me.
Wild. Yeah.
But the only one, the only one that tops that is when I got a Razer version 4, which is a phone that I think is sick. And I got it from you remember the Radio Shack that was in the fucking Atwater, Alex Neon? And I was like, sick. And then I popped it open, and it was about to fucking put my SIM card in. And there were a bunch of numbers programmed into it. And I called one. And they were like, who is this? I don't know. Who the fuck are you? I just bought a new phone, and your number's in it. I hang up.
Yeah.
And I brought the phone back to the guy. I was like, what the fuck are you people doing?
That's when
Give me a refund for this phone. It's
when you find out that they have the ability to shrink wrap shit in the back, because they can also reach in and pull out a download code and throw it in the trash for your new copy of things, you know? And then at some point, the policy just became every box is opened, the seal is always broken.
As soon as it comes in.
And we put the disc back in the case and hand it to you.
And that's when I stopped shopping there.
Insane.
Because I was opening up new discs and seeing that they were damaged. And then I brought it back and said, this is damaged. He's like, did you drop it outside? I'm like, I've been out of your sight for 20 seconds.
Yeah. And like, yeah, you stare at it back then, all those years ago, and you go, why, right? What the fuck? What's the point? And it's to give them the ability to find any promotion that hurts their brick and mortar, such as a download code for something else, and throw it in the garbage.
Predated that. a long time ago. That predated that by years. The real reason was like so they could play it early, and then that's what led to the situation, and that led to tons of leaks.
For store policy to become,
oh yeah,
every copy gets opened, there had to be something else. It's not just so that the boys in the back can get a fucking taste of it. Like they're like the most official.
The guys I knew, it totally was.
That's if that was like the employees doing whatever, opening the box and doing their thing, then sure. But like the idea of like, no, every single copy gets placed in a case in front of you and handed back to you. The only time I got a decent, not a decent, the only time I remember there being a reasoning behind it was with the fucking Tomb Raider thing, or no Human Revolution thing.
Deus Ex, yeah.
You know,
I think the most like. The moment I came the closest to throwing like what I guess I would describe as a Walmart tantrum, but I didn't. But I felt it in my chest.
Walmart flavored tantrum
was when I want to say I was buying. I can't remember what it was. I want to say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, but the timing could be wrong. It could have been a different Call of Duty game. And he opens up the box and pulls a disc out of like the sheath thing that they have in the desk, and I'm like, no, give me a new copy. He's like, it is new. I'm like, I'm watching you have an open box. Like, I don't know if you've played it. I don't know if anyone's touched it. You guys have. That was the same store that gave me the clear set. Like, you guys fuck. He's like, and he looks at me and he goes, do you want me to seal it with the shrink wrap machine? So that it's well that and like and I just stared at him like mouth agape, like at the level of condescension. Like why are you treating me like a Neanderthal? What? No, I want you to go back in fucking time and not open it. And that store policy shit at places like that is what led to, I don't know if you guys have ever been in like a Best Buy when it comes in, the fucking pallet of Nintendo games that is massively sealed with yellow tape that says, do not fucking open this shit.
I mean, how many of those does someone need before eventually it's just like, all right, fuck it, we're going to the Canadian Tire and walking all the way to the back and making a left and hitting their electronics section, and we're buying our games from Canadian Tire now. In between the fucking drills and the winter gear, because fuck this.
The EB games that are in question, like I could not literally believe it, because the EB games there was in the Eaton Center, and if you wanted to walk literally 10 minutes, there's a Best Buy there that didn't pull the same shit and had the same stuff. And
it was a future shop at the time.
It was the same thing every time.
It was a future shop, but yeah.
You would walk out of the Metro and walk into the GameStop or the EB Games and go, hey, can I have one? And they go to pull out the disc. You would fucking never mind. And you would walk an extra 5 minutes to that Best Buy and buy it there.
Can I get a real
and
fucking...
Eventually,
yeah.
And eventually you just stop turning into the EB Games at all. For you guys, it would be GameStop. And it's like, holy shit, you guys just trashed it. And it's like, people think I'm insane for having like all digital libraries because of all that shit. And it's like, one, physical copies they rot anyway, and two, the space problem for people who buy lots of games. But three is like, oh my god, I have had decades of almost all of my worst retail experiences have been inside a games retailer.
And even
it's unbelievable.
And like the Xbox 360 games and shit, they had like seals on the case specifically to be like, yeah, this is brand fucking new, you know. And it was abysmal. But whatever, man, these places, you know, it's...
Somebody in the chat says that they had a distributor that sold Nintendo Switches with gift cards in them, and their boss removed the gift cards and sold them separately, which is theft. That's straight up theft.
Literally 100%, unquestionably, completely. That's
so.
And so that's the thing, is like, I bet you, like, every single person listening to this, it's like you all have fond memories of the brick and mortar game store that you used to go to, but at some point they tried to fuck you, and maybe they did it multiple times, you know.
Hey, so which is more infuriating, Willie? Everything that we've talked about right now so far, or Dude, when is King of Fighters 11 coming out? Tomorrow. I've legitimately never seen you angrier in my life for a longer period of time.
Yeah, King of Fighter. 11. Next Thursday. Says here, next Thursday. Yep, next Thursday. All right, yeah. Yeah. That's funny, because that's what you said last Thursday and the one before that, actually. And you're not even, like, you roll your eyes when I approach the counter now. And my money is in the thing. Where is the game?
You took my money to get it.
You told me it would, like, how many, you know, and it's just like you see that, like, uh-oh, he's walking into the store phase. Like, whew.
Yeah. And the interaction is, hey, do you have this item? No.
And like somewhere around time 4 or 5 where you're at the and like he knows and you know and you just walk up and he has to say, hi, can I help you? And they're like, yeah, actually you can, and you know, and it's like, what's it gonna be today? You know? It's like, oh, yep, doesn't seem this. I'm Thursday. Should I try next Thursday? Fuck, yeah. Anyways,
I had a really similar thing with that for Call of Duty 4, where it came to our our EB games for whatever reason 3 weeks late, and I had I went to school very nearby there, so I had the time to just walk over and spend 10 minutes to just walk over and check. Hey, is it in? And he'd be like, and at some point, the dude said, no, I don't know. Stop asking. And I'm like, I paid for it.
Yeah. You took the money that says it's going to...
You took my money. Yeah. And it was the guy. I'm like, you took my money. And you told me it would be here. I'm not trying to be a problem. Just give me my money back. Like, there was a couple-day period where other stores had it. And they still didn't have it. So I'm like, give me my fucking money back. You're weeks late. God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it. And
the brick
I know a lot of you people who didn't have these experiences will go, why did you even give them any money at all? And it was because there was a 5 to 10 year period where if you did not pre-order anything that wasn't the biggest thing, and even then, they would straight up never give you a copy.
You weren't getting it. Pre-ordering now is a thing where you can go like, yeah, like, don't get suckered in by shit or whatever. Once upon a time, it was literally the only way to get a copy of a thing, you know.
And if it was something that was like not super popular, like Odin's Sphere, for example,
they got 2 copies. They got 2 copies in the store.
It was 10 pre-orders. They got 2. So you had to have a pre-order, and you had to be the first one there when the store came out.
Oh my god, 1,000,000%. Yep. So just the fucking indignity of looking at you like, what the fuck are you bothering me for?
And the actual ultimate scam was that if multiple people, I saw this happen, I was so angry for the other guy. But when multiple people came in simultaneously and there was not enough, it went by how much money was already down on it. So since I had paid the whole thing
in full
up front, I got to walk out with mine. But the guy who was right behind me, who came in at the same time, didn't. Despite the fact that we both pre-ordered.
I don't know. I've never gotten this verified by a second source, but I had one person tell me that when the whole next Thursday thing is a policy, they were told whenever someone asks when something is coming out, give them a return point to come back to the store.
So everything that we complain about is, I mean, it is always so sad to me. You could always tell who was actually scum. And most people weren't. They were just like, their boss is like invisible over their shoulder going, you're going to get fired if you don't do this bullshit. Policy and management was always the real problem.
If everyone had to learn that anytime anyone asks you for anything, the answer is, yeah, it'll be here whenever. Come back, try next week, try next Thursday, try, some period of time that'll get you to walk back in here, then of course everyone's going to have that shit experience. But like, and as someone who's buying shit that was not necessarily the huge pre-ordered game of the day or whatever, it was just a constant fucking like, you're going to look me dead in my eyes and just lie for as long as it takes, no matter what, Anyway.
I saw the best statement in chat. I think there's a guy named Revi who sums up this whole thing, which is digital marketplaces don't roll their eyes at you. Like, people are like, it costs more and you can't get a deal, and maybe the store will break, and it's like, none of that compares to a human being rolling their eyes at me because I asked if they had it in stock, and they should, and they don't.
The thing that you've already paid for, that is, mind you. Yes. Yeah. Guy, anyway, just God bless, my boy King, who just, he lived close enough by that I was able to go see him, and he had the setup, he had the burner, and he was just like, yeah, we can figure out Shenmue Disc 2, no problem, and I got to see the truth of that exchange with that option select in my pocket. Like, I'll pay your stupid fee, give me the rest of the game. And like the mask off moment of, oh no, wait, I'm trying to fucking take money out of your pocket, not make a transaction here. Give me 25 and we'll fucking call it even.
And all this frustration builds into a situation where you can very easily personally justify to yourself that their 14-day no questions asked return policy on used games means that you can return your copy of Zoe 2 and then use the credit to buy Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for a week, and then return Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and buy Zoe 2, because that's the one you want to keep, and just run that fucking scam for 6 months until they catch on and fucking kill it.
Anyone who has the patience to play that game, the credit rental system of like, trade up this, get that, always new, never spend a penny, like, God bless. I don't have it in me. I don't have the fucking drive to, round up all these physicals to get the one new thing. But I mean, when I've seen it work, I've seen, I have a friend that's like, Shmup God Pats walked out of the brick and mortar stores with a brand new DS that was all credit, and I mean,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there was a period around 2005 where if you walked in, well, actually it was around Zone of the Ender 2. I remember that vividly. If you walked in and bought a used game, because used games were open instead of sealed, they would take a full refund within 14 days for any reason. So you would buy it, and you would beat it, and you would refund it, and you would buy a different new used game, and then you would buy it. And I ran that scam to the point where I was at a person. You remember Keith? I was at Keith's house, and he had a copy of Zone of the Enders 2, and he's like, "Check this out," and he pulled the manual out, and there were 5 of my receipts behind it.
Yeah. And honestly,
because that's what I did with the receipt. I would put it behind the manual.
And they didn't care because they were making 95%, literally 95%, that's what the report said, of their money on reselling of games. previously used games that they already sold. Exactly. So you doing that with the exchange system just meant nothing. It was a drop in the ocean of the 5 Mad World price stickers I have on the Mad World box stacked underneath each other, I
remember why I used Zone of the Enders 2 is because it cost $92. And so no matter what I wanted to buy with it, it was always going to cover it.
It was going to cover it. Okay. Yeah.
It was almost kind of like money laundering because I'd bring back a game and a gift card, so it didn't look like I was doing it. and you wait till the guy who didn't do your transaction last week moves over. And like, oh man, and you go to the different GameSpot, the one in Angringo. And
So yeah,
oh, fuck that place.
That's what it was like installing games before Steam.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was like.